All right. Part 3 of the Llama is to make a statement. Now, a statement can be anything. You can paraphrase what the customer said. You can answer their question. Politicians do this all the time. Someone asks a question in a town hall or at a press conference or something. The first thing that the politician always does is says, "That's a good question." There's the acknowledgement. Now, they listened very carefully to that question because now they may want to paraphrase it, change the subject, which is they're very good at. They don't know they're using the Llama. They just know how to manipulate other people. They don't end on a question because they don't want to give control back to the audience. But if they wanted to, they could just say, "That is a really good question. I've been hoping someone in the audience would ask me that because I would like to make this statement about that." And then they make a statement about whatever they want. Very interesting. But you can answer someone's question. That's a very good question. Did you get my payment on time? That's a very good question. Let me look up your account number. I will find that account and find out exactly when we received it. Okay? Or do you have that number, the account number or the item number or the reference number of some type? Now, maybe they do, maybe they don't. If they don't, you've got to say again, okay, many people don't have it when they dial it. It happens all the time. We'll look it up by your telephone number. What is that telephone number, please? Always in control. I don't say I'll look it up by your phone number and stop, hoping they'll understand there was a question there. No, I will open it up and have a question for them that makes it clear, and that question will make them feel smart and right to answer it. I will handle objections in this part of the call. See, this is, this part of the Llama. You know this. You know how to handle objections. Somebody probably taught you how to do it, how to handle an upset, what to say when they say what. But if you take that what to say when they say what and you put it in the middle of a Llama, you're going to be so successful at it. You can make a retention statement. I think I mentioned in the first session how I did this for Discover Card. Discover Card did a lot for me too. They kept me busy for 5 years. And also, they were the ones who told me to use Llama. Because before that, I called it the statement. In my first book on script writing, I called it the statement question technique. And then I went up on the board one day. I've got actually video of it. A picture of it where I had written on the board, L, listen, acknowledge, make a statement, ask a question. And one of the people in the audience from Discover Card said, "Judy, why don't we just call it Llama? We love acronyms around here." And I looked at the board and I said, "Yeah, that's what we should call it, Llama." And I said, "Don't say another word till I call my, copyright attorney." But it's been Llama ever since. The training isn't just about Llama. It's about a million other things, but people always call it the Llama. It's like Kleenex is tissue, right? But we call it Kleenex. We've learned to use words that make it easy for us to understand. And everybody calls my training the Llama training, even though it may be coaching, it may be handling upsets, it may be retaining customers. It could be all kinds of things. Doesn't matter. They call it the Llama training. Now, making a retention statement. This is remember in relationship. And even in the first session, I'm sure I said it. I say it over and over. Never use words or phrases or anything that makes the customer feel wrong or stupid. Wrong or stupid. They will do anything to defend themselves if you make them wrong or stupid. They will take a stand and firmly never budge if you make them wrong or stupid. So in the case of retention, people wanted to close their account. "Hi, I'd like to close my account." And the agents were saying, "Why do you want to close it?" "May I?" And then when I said, "Couldn't you say that nicer?" They'd make it more polite. "Oh, well, could you tell me why you want to close your account?" Or they would say, "What caused you to cancel?" All of those I forbade. I said, no, we're never going to repeat a negative. If there's one negative and it's said by the customer, we're just not going to repeat it. That makes it twice as bad. We're not going to do that. And what they did was they called up, I would like to cancel. And the agent was being polite, but said, why do you want to cancel? And so I changed it to person said, I want to cancel. I want to close my account. And so I changed their statement into the Llama technique. And I said, I am so sorry to hear that. And I could see their name. It came up on the board. And I would say, you've been with us only 3 months. And then I wrote this famous question. Many companies have ripped it from my training, and I don't blame them because it's a good one. The question was, may I ask, what caused you to make that decision? That's one of the best questions I've ever written in a script. And why is because it's polite to say, may I ask a question? Now, there are 14% of analytical people, the analyticals in the world, they know that's a yes or no question. And so they want to be right. So they say yes or no. But the other 86% of the world, and believe me, we've tested this on thousands of telephone calls, so you don't have to go test it. 86% of people understand the intention there. And they will answer what was the cause. Now, remember, when we say, what may I ask? What is the, what may I ask? What caused you to make that decision? Very carefully written in a script because I want to acknowledge that person for making a decision. They made a decision and they have every right to do that. And I want to acknowledge it because I want them to feel acknowledged. And on the other hand, I'd like to know why, but I know that the question why is going to irritate them. How do we know that the question why irritates people? Just ask people a bunch of why questions and you'll hear terrible things on the other side of the phone. Why did you do it? Why did you call us? Why do you cancel? Bad answers come from that question. Now, why people would still continue to ask the question is beyond me. I say if it doesn't bring a good answer, why not change the question? I can't change them, but I can change me. So in the music place, I didn't say, why do you want that song? Why did you wear that shirt? Why did you come to this seminar? People don't know the answer. And why do you want to cancel? They hate that. They say, none of your business, just close it. Or some such thing. So the retention statement acknowledged that they made a decision and they have every right to make that decision. And that's why the Llama works. Because the people would go, oh, well, I have too many cards. And now we were well prepared to handle that. So the make a statement part happened when we said, I am so sorry to hear that. You know, you've been with us quite a long time. And then I wrote the question that followed up that statement. Explain a situation. Now you've got a problem. Something happened. You heard an upset or a problem, and you said, you did the right thing. You called the right place. I am here to help you with that. That's a really big, long acknowledgement. And I can help you, but I need to know a little more information. I need to know when this happened. Do you happen to have that information? Oh, yeah, this, blah, blah, blah. So I can explain my situation to them in a way that lets them tell me I need more explanation from you. I can explain that I can find things out. I can explain that I might not know the answer, but I know who knows the answer. I can explain to them that I know and I know that I know. So hit me with your best shot. I love that one. When I get into a training room and live, people will say, well, you couldn't fix this. And I go, hit me with your best shot, honey. I'm going to show you how to do it. I can do it. Because I'm going to guide this conversation someplace else. They don't even know it. But in the retention piece, that's what I'm going to do. Or in the explanation piece, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change the subject if I have to. And I can do it right here. If you want to talk about baseball, but I want to talk about pickleball. and you say something about baseball, first I acknowledge it. Oh, I know it's a great sport. I go to the Dodger Stadium all the time and watch the Dodgers play. But lately, here's more statement. Lately, I'm just obsessed with pickleball. Have you heard about that sport? There we are. Now, what are we talking about? We're talking about pickleball because why? I said so. That's why. I changed the subject in the statement piece. But by the way, I can't change that subject if I don't do the acknowledgement. If someone says something's great about baseball, I don't say, have you heard about pickleball? Where did that come from and why did they do it? Well, they did it. They're not, I'm not guiding this. I didn't acknowledge them. And of course we use it for sales messages. That's so obvious. Anytime we want to sell something, we're going to put it in the statement part. We do want to say something. We really do. And I want you to be able to do it too. I want you to be able to do it. And you can do it if you pay attention to how to do it. All right, so let's go to the next slide, which is right here.